Can wellness concepts and recommendations be made affordable and accessible to all? My name is Dr. Ruth Dutton. I'm a board certified adult psychiatrist, and I talk a lot on this app about lifestyle interventions that can make a huge difference in mental health. And a lot of these are aligned with a lot of the things that wellness culture represents. So today is day one of a series where I'm going through each of the tenets of lifestyle psychiatry and one free or very low cost intervention that can make a big difference in this area. So today we're going to start with diet. Now, diet is hugely important for mental health. Think about it. Everything that you consume is what all the cells of your body are made from. But at the same time, a lot of the things that people talk about, like access to whole foods and organic foods, all these things can really be a challenge for people who are struggling with low income or a lack of resources or no grocery store nearby. The one free intervention that I think can be really helpful to people is integrating fasting. So let me put this with the caveat that this is not ideal for everyone. There are people for whom fasting is not recommended, or they may have to really be intentional about how they're fasting so that they're not overdoing it, putting too much stress on their body. So I'm thinking about particularly menstruating women who are considering getting pregnant, are pregnant, or are nursing, and of course, growing children as well. These are generally cases where fasting should be approached with caution and where it's super important to listen to your body and your body cues. However, for people who have metabolic issues, things like insulin resistance, high cholesterol, obesity, high blood pressure, infertility issues like PCOS, or other hormonal issues going on, like women in perimenopause, this can be a really powerful strategy. So I always recommend that people just start with limiting how frequently they're eating. So trying to limit your eating episodes to no more than 3 times per day and giving yourself a 12-hour overnight fasting window. Now, this should be pretty much safe for everyone. And then the next step would be to gradually extend your overnight fast. For most women, extending your fast to like a 14-hour overnight fast is going to be pretty safe. Once you start getting to longer than that, 16, 18, 24-hour, 48-hour fasts, then that's where we really need to use a little more caution. However, these types of fasting interventions can be super powerful for people who have metabolic syndrome. And as we've talked about on this app, there's such a close connection between metabolic issues and mental health. So for these individuals, extending that overnight fast to like 16 hours, or even sometimes incorporating a 24 or 48-hour fast, depending on the individual and what their body is capable of, this can be a really powerful intervention for addressing those metabolic derangements. Of course, if you're going to go with a more extended fast than 16 hours or so, I would definitely recommend talking with your medical professional and making sure that they're monitoring you to make sure that there's no major lab derangements, nutritional issues, or anything like that. If you've had an experience with fasting, positive or negative, feel free to share in the comments below. I'd love to hear about it. Wishing you all good mental health today, and I'll see you in the next one.